Still on climate, stakeholders are providing pragmatic and useful inputs to the policy-making process for Nigeria's climate transition to unlock climate finance on actionable pathways for Nigeria's low net emissions growth. Tokwe Alabi reports.
In 2021, Nigeria passed the Climate Change Act that seeks to achieve low greenhouse gas emissions, green and sustainable growth by providing the framework to set a target that reach net zero between 2050 and 2070.
In the last year, Nigeria received about $2 billion in climate financing, which is a very small fraction of what is needed. But increasing flows will not come from simply articulating our vision for climate action. They will only come when we begin to internally reflect and shape what climate transition, especially a just transition, means to us.
The third issue is around fiscal space. And this challenge is, again, it's a Nigerian challenge, but again, continental. And so if you have very minimal fiscal space, how do you create the incentives for the new industries that you're trying to build on the continent?
This gathering aims to achieve this with the Africa Policy Research Institute, Apri, and Enzi Ijayo Africa Institute insisting the quantum of climate finance available to Nigeria will likely be proportional to the level of external confidence in the depth, efficacy, sustainability and credibility of Nigeria's climate and energy transition architecture.
In order to mobilize, the adequate amount of climate financing into the country, then we have to have, adequate regulatory frameworks.
So until we bring the workers in, then we can now begin to talk of the framework, the broader framework, by which we can actually engineer, an inclusive economy, a sustainable economy that takes care of everyone and leaves no one behind.
If we do originate projects properly and we structure these projects can actually raise private sector investment.
I think that to mainstream and to maintain this just transition we are talking about, there needs to be a lot of work around planning.
Minister of Budget and National Planning, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu represented, says the event will further explore Nigeria's preparedness in incorporating climate action into its economic and development agenda.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been consistent and has even included in the 2024 budget a 130 billion naira energy transition fund. And we've also seen with the implementation of the presidential CNG initiative, it's clear that the leadership of the country are, leading programs and projects and initiatives that have an energy transition tone to them.
Expectations are high that conversations at this forum will provide pragmatic and useful inputs to the policy-making process for Nigeria's climate transition. In Abuja, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.